What's up, guys? This is Kalo, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we are cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news and rumors. And today, I'm joined by John Hanson. Why don't you say what's up?
What's up? Let's talk some Xbox.
We are here today to talk some Xbox, of course. And before we do any of that, we'd like to say thank you to you guys for liking and subscribing here to Game Sandwich. And if you're new here, consider following along on this crazy gaming journey we're all on. And if you want to talk more about your favorite games or any of the headlines discussed today, join our Discord. Links to that is all in the video description down below. Now, as for today, and as for the next few years, or maybe even this year, it looks like we're going to be getting new Xbox hardware, contrary to the internet's popular belief, with a new handheld slated for this year. And 2027, we might be getting that Xbox next generation console that's a PC home console hybrid. John, I'm salivating at this news. I want to get your thoughts here first.
Yeah, it'd be great starting with the handheld, that would be great to have. I mean, I can't believe that it's 2025 and we're still talking about an Xbox handheld. Just the fact that they never decided to go down this route was always crazy to me. Obviously, Nintendo just owns that market, so they were scared, but I mean, PlayStation owns the console market and they're not scared to go into there, so I just don't understand that, but I'd be happy to see it. The biggest hope for me is that it runs games natively, and then also you can obviously do all the cloud streaming and Game Pass stuff. As for the next console, I mean, we all know that Xbox is in a weird spot right now with them moving all their exclusives on the PlayStation and Nintendo. A lot of people are thinking that just Xbox is getting out of the console market. They keep saying that they're not. As of right now, they're still planning on releasing this. Let's say it does come out in 2027. Who knows what the industry looks like at that time? Right now, everything's on fire. Everyone's still playing on PS4 and Xbox One because they've got games like Fortnite that they can just go back to. They don't have to... They're just fine playing their one game forever. And not putting down $70 on every new game, plus let's say, with tariffs and inflation and everything, this next console, maybe $700 on it.
Sounds...
When it comes out?
Yeah, sounds right.
I mean, that's very possible that that's the price point. The handheld, maybe 500.
Yeah.
The industry's in a bad spot right now, and it's not really a great time to start talking about new hardware. I think we're still... It doesn't even feel like the Series X and the PS5 generation has really ever taken off.
Yeah.
It's been going... This year will be 5 years since they released, and like I said, we still have tons of people playing on PS4s and Xbox Ones, so... Yeah, it's exciting always to talk about new hardware, but it's also like, we're not in the greatest spot to be talking about this right now.
It's certainly a thing where it's like you gotta walk before you can run here, and clearly I don't think anyone's walking, let alone running, near that time. Now, as far as this report goes, coming from Windows Central's Jez Corden, the codename for this handheld is codename Keenan, and it's going to have some Xbox-like designs, like a guide button, Xbox design sensibilities, and it's going to be similar to a partner device like the Lenovo SteamOS partnership with Valve. So, for me, 2025, to get that, it's a third-party thing, not the actual Xbox-bred handheld. I think this is like their feeler to be like, all right, how can this device really work? Like, what are we dealing with here? Is this going to be viable for us to drop our own kind of iteration on that? And whenever I look at what they're trying to do, allegedly, with Xbox OS, making it a Windows-backed device, to sit here and say you can play Steam, and you can get the Epic Games Store, and then you can get PlayStation games on an Xbox console... it's like stuff of fantasy, and I'm like, in 2025 too? Where does that even slot in to be like, oh, over the summer? Do they announce something at the summer showcase? It just seems like that's too soon to drop something. Like, if anything, we would have heard it by now.
Yeah, if it is set to come out this year, which honestly I don't believe, but if they do plan on it coming out in, let's say, fall, then yes, the summer showcase has to be where they announce it. But I'm with you that feels too soon. Maybe they're just going off of that this is a different version of the Series S. So they don't really see it as like a massive step forward for like a new console where you're announcing that pretty far in advance. Where if there's like a new version of a console they already have out, they usually only give it like 6 months at most.
Yeah.
To announcement.
And the more interesting part of this report is the next generation Xbox console. Again, it looks to have this PC integration somehow, some way. It was greenlit all the way up to CEO Satya Nadella, so that's good news. And apparently, there's going to be multiple consoles. The exact wording was, I'm trying to find the exact quote here, where it was like, there's going to be several new controller options. I'm looking at that haptic feedback thing. I need that. But yeah, apparently there's going to be multiple consoles. The word consoles was mentioned. So are we thinking it's kind of like the Series X and X or S, or is it the Xbox actual, their own handheld, and then the high-end model, like the actual home console?
I would hope it's the latter, because I don't think how you can go through the last 5 years with the Series X and S and think that this was a good model that really helped Xbox. It really hurt them in a lot of ways. It kept games off of their platforms. Baldur's Gate 3 was like the biggest example of that, where everyone was just waiting for the best game of 2023, and they couldn't bring it to Xbox because the Series S couldn't launch it. So I don't know how Phil Spencer or Satya Nadella can look at that and be like, yes, this is good. We want to keep doing this. I would say that going forward, I would really hope that it would be just a handheld and the actual console.
And I want to talk a little bit about the fantasy booking I have for PlayStation games on Xbox consoles through means of Steam and the Epic Games Store. Do you think there's a world where PlayStation sees this and they're like, oh my gosh, Xbox is doing this PC thing, and you can have Steam on the console, which means our games are on there? Do we live in a world where they're like, no, we're not letting that happen, where you cannot play Spider-Man on this Xbox console? We pull our games from Steam or the Epic Games Store, and then we'll figure out our own thing. I personally think they'd be stupid to do that because of how well their games have been doing on Steam and all this, but you know, never say never in gaming.
Yeah, no, there's no way that they would do that, because one, they're taking money out of their own pockets by doing that, which is, it's a business first, and I don't care what you think about exclusives and all the console wars and all that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to willingly take money out of their own pockets. If anything, this will probably push them further, making PlayStation games on Xbox. It's an inevitability to me. Like, within the next decade, we're gonna start seeing PlayStation make games for Xbox at some point.
Yeah. You know, apparently, I forgot who said it, but apparently the console wars is over. They declared it. I think it was like a former executive from either PlayStation or Xbox. Now,
I just remember Phil Spencer saying that they lost the most important one, which pretty much made them lose.
Yeah, you know, people, console war stuff, it's got to be over with. Now, finally, to kind of encapsulate everything, the biggest selling point has to be the Steam integration. Like, there's no other thing, at least to me, looking at what they're presenting here. Like, sure, drop a handheld, but I don't think that's going to move the needle in your direction any which way. And if it does have the power of a Series S, let's just say that's the benchmark, that's a great console. But whenever you're going multi-platform, whenever you're doing all this, that's the selling point to me. Steam, getting the Epic Game Store, PC stuff, you literally become the most compatible console on the market. I don't know what PlayStation's going to do for the PS6. Yeah. But as of right now, especially if they can release it beforehand, it's like, oh my gosh, like, one, you're going to pair this with the new Call of Duty. At least I think they should. And then this is the place to play all of your games. To me, that's it. That's the selling point. Sign, seal, deliver. That gives them the leg up. Is there anything I'm missing here as far as what could be another selling point?
Well, I mean, until we know more, no. But that is huge. I mean, there's been rumblings about this for I'd say last 6 months or so of Xbox trying to get Steam into their next console, which, I mean, it's great. That sounds like great pie in the sky stuff. The more I look at it, though, the more I'm like, would Valve do that? Because they're trying to make their own console.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't care, like Microsoft, and Microsoft is just shelling out tons and tons of money to them, so they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do this. First, I want to see Game Pass on the Steam Deck, and within the actual, like, Steam store place. Like, if we see that get put in there, then I will fully buy into the Steam on an Xbox. But right now, we're not seeing enough of Xbox in the Steam area besides games. Like, I want to see the actual, like, services and stuff make their way over. When that happens, 100% gung-ho on this. But as of right now, I'm a little skeptical about it.
It's always funny to kind of go back to these videos where we're, like, speculating, and then 5 years from now, what happens? Who knows at this point? But yeah, it's interesting to see, especially the one thing this year, potentially new Xbox hardware. Sure, Xbox handhelds, it's the thing we've all been wanting. But without further ado, this is where we're going to pass it off to you guys. What do you think about this prospect of, one, this Xbox PC hybrid thing, and then a handheld this year? Still crazy to say out loud. But if you want more gaming content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all the latest and greatest gaming news, rumors, and reviews. And if you want to talk more about your favorite video games, join our Discord. Link to that is all in the video description down below. But as of right now, I've been Kalo, joined by John Hanson, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.